If you've ever wondered where the deer and the antelope still roam, this is it.
It's still a storybook West, to so many people.
The big fella, the one who looks like he's been riding all his life and bears a striking resemblance to Teddy Roosevelt, that's Bob Modell. And this is his Mooncrest Ranch a few miles outside Cody, Wyoming.
Oh, boys!
Those are some of Bob's ranch hands getting ready to feed the horses. When they head up into the mountains, they'll be carrying rifles for protection against wolves and coyotes or to put down a horse that's broken a leg. Even down here, a couple of the men carry handguns.
Well, you never know when you may need it.
It's an enormous piece of land. Modell owns 5,000 acres, and then there's another 195,000 acres of public land surrounding his ranch. So you're sitting on roughly 200,000 acres of my land.
I am.
Well, you're welcome.
And I appreciate that. But
Okay.
I would say to you, I'm a good steward. I use it for grazing my livestock, and I'm also a licensed big game outfitter, and you're lucky to have me, watching after your land.
When people who don't hunt look around a place like this, and when you see all the heads up on the wall, they say, what the hell is that guy talking about? Conservation, they're killing them.
The hunters have played an important role in conserving not only wildlife, but our resources upon which the wildlife live.
There's no getting around it. Guns are big in Wyoming. More guns per capita than any state in the country. As for the residents of Park County, that's where Cody is located, well, here's the sheriff, Scott Stewart.
If they have guns in the home, the low end's going to be probably 4 to 5. High end's going to be anywhere from 100 to more.
And how many people in this county do not have guns?
I would say a very minority.
Still, when it comes to the rate of gun-related murders, Wyoming is below the national average. Sheriff Stewart will tell you he's all right with all those guns out here. He has only a handful of deputies.
We might have 3 on duty in the county to cover 6,000 square miles. Sometimes you could have a deputy on one side of the county and get a call 40 miles away. Chances are he's not going to get there to intervene in any kind of conflict that's maybe going on.
So what you're telling me is people need to be able to take care of themselves.
Absolutely.
Guns are woven into the tapestry of all the old Wyoming families, that of retired Senator Alan Simpson, for example. How long have you Simpsons been out here?
My great-grandfather came to Jackson in 1884. My grandmother lived to be 100. She was born in Salt Lake in 1874, 2 years before the Custer battle. She always carried a Derringer in her purse.
I assume that back then, folks needed their guns.
Without guns, there'd be no West. This takes a .30 caliber.
There is, Simpson concedes, a strain of violence in his family.
That's it. My grandfather murdered a guy in the main street of Cody in August of 1923.
Because?
My grandfather was a lawyer, so he represented this guy. The guy didn't like the result, came up behind my grandfather, hit him in the back of the head.
Simpson's grandfather got a gun and shot his client, killed him. A local jury voted for acquittal. And then there's the senator's own boyhood.
I was an assassin. We were bad. We stole shells, 22 shorts, and would go out into the hills and see how close we could come to each other in the rocks.
Alan Simpson, you will not be surprised to learn, is no fan of gun control legislation.
Gun control in Wyoming is how steady you hold your rifle.
Okay, Mac, why don't you go ahead and take a few shots first?
That's the senator's son, Colin, with his son, Mac. They call him Big Mac.
What's wrong with it?
Does this sort of match what your dad did with you? I mean, what Al did with you?
Absolutely, Ted. What I'm doing here with the boys is exactly what we did.
There's a real effort to instill gun safety.
People in other places don't understand how careful we are, how much we understand, and how we learn from a young age.
When he was 13, Dylan Romero was already a crack shot. It's an expensive sport, though, and his father had him draft a contract outlining what he's prepared to do in order to keep shooting.
I have to keep a GPA above 3.95, not do any drugs or alcohol, ever, pretty much, and just stay out of trouble with the law, my teachers, respect him and my mom.
Dylan started shooting when he was about 7. That's how old Ella was when we met her. But she and her dad, Bo Allen, have already been at this for a while.
Hey, good nice shot.
When's the first time you shot a gun?
Well, I think it was when I was 5.
Oh, so you're an old hand at this. You've been doing this for a long time. You like coming out and shooting with your daddy?
Yeah.
That's Haley O'Neill at age 5. Her dad, Justin, is showing her how to thumb back the hammer on her pistol.
One more time.
Good job.
She is as sweet as can be, and she's clearly having a good time.
Yes, sir.
But there's some people who might watch this and say, boy, 5 is awful young. Awful young.
Not at all, actually.
Tell me why.
Respect starts now. Respect of life, respect of country, respect of game, everything starts now. That all starts when they're impressionable.
Haley, turn around here a second, sweetie, so you can see the camera. I just want to know one thing. Did you have a good time? Did you enjoy this? Would you like to do it again? At this point, some gun control advocates in our major cities may be shaking their heads in disbelief. Folks out here, though, couldn't care less.
And they don't give a what people think about them back there. While they're killing each other every day more than they are out here, why do we have to listen to that?
Out on a pheasant shoot, says Colin Simpson, people and their guns get along just fine.
It's a community event, it's a family event. The memories I have with my father and my brother and my 2 boys and my wife and you name it, those are wonderful memories.
To a great extent, our perspective on guns is shaped by where we live. This is the view from Cody, Wyoming.